All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Here I am at 6 o'clock in the morning, still thinking about you. It's still hard at 6 o'clock in the morning to sleep without you, and I know that it might seem too late for love. All I know, I need you now. More than words can say, I need you now. I've gotta find a way, I need you now. Before I lose my mind, I need you now.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. Yep, I'm Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network and your hometown radio, Classic 1220, CFAJ, that is broadcast around the world on classic1220.ca. So, Nation, I guess this hour is Paul Dale Roberts, and Paul has always some interesting information that he sends to thousands of people each and every week. Sometimes we get two, sometimes we get three. I don't know where he gets the time to sleep. So today we're going to be talking to Paul about, let me see, a haunted castle, haunted Sicily, the haunted Schofeld Barracks in Hawaii, and spooky Bennington Triangle in Vermont. Joining me now is Paul Dale Robertson. How are you, young man?
Hey, Russ, I'm doing fine. How's it going with you?
Any better, and I just couldn't take it. Any better, I would stop drinking Jack Daniels.
Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
I still have those days.
Yeah, and you definitely see spirits.
Oh yes, big time. Big time. Tell me, when do you sleep? You're so busy. Not only do you send these fascinating emails out, but you also do paranormal investigations and so much more. So when does Paul Dale Roberts get any time for Paul Dale Roberts?
Well, the funny thing is, back in the 70s, I actually, and you can actually look this up.
Okay.
You can Google Paul Dale Roberts disco, and if you look at disco Wikipedia and scroll down to the dancing part, you'll find out that I danced 8.5 days for the Guinness Book of World Records, disco dancing, and I was in Ripley's Believe It or Not. And that's on the disco Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
And scroll down to dancing, and you'll see that they're talking about me.
I have to ask you this. Why would you disco for 8.5 days?
I have no idea. No, I was a professional dancer back in the 70s, and I just really loved dancing. And one day, this DJ came up to me and says, "Hey, you ought to do a world's record. There's no world record for disco dancing." And I said, "Yeah, that sounds kind of cool." So the first time I did it was for 79 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and Guinness says, well, you don't have the world's record because your breaks were too long. There were 15 minutes on every hour. So this other guy, he saw that I did this 79 hours and says, "Oh, I'll do 185 hours, which he did. And then the newspaper people came up to me and they said, "Are you going to beat this guy in South Africa who did 185 hours?" I said, "Yeah, I will. I'll do 205 hours, 8.5 days," which I did. And the breaks were 5 minutes on every hour, just like Guinness wanted us
Mm-hmm.
to do. And if I went to the restroom, I had witnesses that went with me as I did number ones. If I had to do a number two, I had to do it during my 5 minute break.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
So where did you do this?
I did right in Sacramento. They actually had me do it at this mall
Mm-hmm.
called the Country Club Plaza.
Right.
And then they transported me in a van, and I had to dance while I was in the van. Yeah, yeah. And then I went to the Sacramento Civic Center
Yeah.
and finished it off. And the money that I raised went to Easter Seals.
Oh, that's a great cause.
Yeah,
That is a
yeah.
great cause. How did you feel? Like, didn't you get overtired? How are your muscles? Like, that's a lot of dancing.
Yeah, I was very tired. And after I finished it, went instantly asleep. And then I woke up early in the morning to do a 7 o'clock in the morning interview with the news station.
What did your wife say while you were doing the boogaloo all over the place? And were you dancing alone?
Oh no, no, no! I had actually during that time I was very well. I was the third and fifth disco king of Sacramento, so I had a little entourage. I had people who were trying to do the world's record with me, and this one guy
Mm.
fell flat on his face. This one woman named Kathy Kleiber, her legs got swollen up like an elephant leg. They had the ambulance there for emergencies, so they took the guy and they took the woman Kathy to the hospital. Um, and yeah, it's like I just had a lot of energy back in those days.
Well, the fact that you did this, number one, congratulations, but raising this money for Easter Seals, man, you deserve a gold medal for that because those people do a lot of great work, and it's because of people like you who donate the money that they raise. God bless you, pal.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. So then that was my back in the day.
So, how did you go from being a disco king to being a paranormal king?
I was always interested in the paranormal. So, like, as a child, I lived in a haunted house. All kinds of things were happening to me. As I got older, I started reading books by Brad Steiger about the paranormal,
Hmm.
and it just led me towards that way. Um, in 1973 and 1976, I joined the Army. I was an undercover MP working with the drug suppression team, so that helped me with my investigative skills.
Right.
From 76, 79, I was the Disco King. Then 79, I went back into the Army because Disco died. So my dancing career went down under in the toilet. And I was military intelligence, and so I got into military intelligence because I said if anybody knows about UFOs, it would be military intelligence. So, and I was right. There was some UFO investigations with military intelligence during that time. So from 79 to 86, I was in the military, and then when I got out, I was in the comic book industry and was interviewing people like William Shatner because he had a comic book line. So I was interviewing him about his comic books. Um, So I did that for a while, and then one day a ghost hunter lady came up to me and she goes, "I seen your interviews and your articles about comic books. Why don't you write about one of our ghost investigations at the National Hotel?" Which I did. I went to the National Hotel, wrote an article, and the two stories were published in two British magazines. And before I knew it, I was writing for this group, and then I wind up owning that group, which is HPI, Halo Paranormal Investigations.
So let me see. Disco King, Army, Intelligence, Comic Book King,
Hmm.
and author and journalist,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and the owner of a paranormal group.
yeah.
So I'm going to bring this interview to the where we started. When does Paul get time for Paul?
Uh, well, I actually, like I love writing,
Hmm.
so that is actually my Paul time is,
Really, eh?
when I'm writing. Yeah.
Well, you've written some great articles, and in fact, today I'd like to talk to you about the haunted Craig Y. Nuss Castle in Wales. Also, let me see here, haunted Sicily and haunted Schofeld Barracks in Hawaii. And then I love talking about the triangles. You know, you've got the Hoodoo Triangle, you've got the Bermuda Triangle, you've got the Great Lakes Triangle, and all these different triangles still, after all these years, remain a mystery. Nobody knows who, what, when, where, and why, and most of these triangles are not in the middle of the ocean like the Bermuda Triangle. So, what brought your interest into the Bennington Triangle in Vermont?
Uh, because it was a triangle. We actually have a triangle here near Sacramento. Um, oh my gosh, and I can't even think of the name of it right now. Um, and I actually did an investigation, and I just thought it was really interesting because all these triangle areas
Yeah,
have all this paranormal activity, from UFOs to
yeah.
cryptids to shadow people, ghosts, everything. So it really amazes me. And so yeah, when I wrote about the Bennington Triangle, I did some research and everything else, and I just found it really fascinating.
Paul, what is your website for our listeners?
They can actually go to https colon uh, forward slash
Hmm.
jasmaonline.boards.net.
That's Jasmine Online.
Jasma Online, yeah, JAZMAONLINE, Jasma Online
All right,
dot boards dot net.
stand by, Paul. You and I have to take our first break. Indexo Nation, Paul Dale Roberts is my special guest. The one and only Disco King. And now I know why there's music playing in the background when you're doing this interview. You're dancing around in your own little studio. I'll be back on the other side of the short break with the Disco King as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network and Classic 1220, streamed at classic1220.ca. All right, Exonation, if you're driving your car on the QEW, if you're driving your car on the 406, or on the Niagara Parkway and you're listening to this music, do me a favor. Pull over. Stop. Stop dancing in your car. I get more calls from the Ontario Provincial Police and the Niagara Regional Police because you guys boogie to the music that we play here on the X Zone. Hey, you're having fun. That's what it's all about. Why are we playing disco music? It's very simple.
I don't know. Hey, but the music sounds good.
Yeah, your foot's tapping, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got a little disco ball playing in your studio, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're an animal, and of course you've got a poster of John Travolta on your wall as well.
How did you know that?
Hey, I'm psychic. Paul Dale Roberts is my special guest, and we're talking about the paranormal. And speaking about Guinness, is there any Guinness record pertaining to the paranormal?
Not that I know of. Huh.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
Yeah. Huh.
If you can,
Yeah, maybe if you did so many investigations, let's say you did 3,000 investigations, maybe that would be a world's record.
You have to do 3,000 investigations and only take a 5-minute break, whether you're doing number 1, number 2, or just doing what you need to do. But was there a doctor on scene just in case you went, No,
it's just they had emergency personnel there.
Anyway, like I said, congratulations. And how much did you raise for the Easter seals?
I think like 6,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hats off to you, my buddy. Hats off to you. Okay, you've got my interest with these stories. Number 1, let's talk about the haunted Craigienoss Castle in Wales.
Yeah. Well, when I went to Wales, this castle is so beautiful and everything else. But as soon as you walk into the place, it's just like it kind of gives you the creeps. And there was a very popular ghost there named Adelina Patti. And Adelina, she was a famous 19th century opera singer. And many people, the tourists, the locals, they've seen her spirit roaming around in various rooms and down hallways. Her spirit has been seen many times by visitors at the theater. And so that's one of the ghosts that haunt that place. There was a Valerie Walters, and she was a tourist, and she claims that when she was utilizing the bathroom in this castle, Adelina Patti appeared and asked Valerie if she could hold her hairbrush.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. And then Adeline smiled and just faded away. Anne Langer and Mark Morris, they're tourists from Connecticut. They visited the castle and learned that the castle in the early 20th century was a tuberculosis hospital. And the tour guide explained to me that many of the patients suffered in a horrific manner before taking their last breath. They were coughing up blood and everything else and throwing up. And it's just a lot of people who take tours through that castle, sometimes they hear coughing, hacking, people screaming. So all that stuff, that residual energy, that negative residual energy still resides in that castle. So that's one of the things that really creeps you out. And when I was walking in those areas, it's just really, really depressing. I wanted to just go outside and get a breath of fresh air. I mean, there's something really it just makes your skin crawl. One of the ghost hunters, they saw a chair move across the floor. A lot of moaning is heard. So yeah, it's just a really really creepy place, and there's something demonic in the salt cellar that people say they hear wicked laughter, and sometimes they get scratched. A hideous face will sometimes appear out of nowhere,
Wow.
and they call it the Wicked One. So yeah, that's a really creepy castle, but it's really beautiful from the outside. But when you get inside, you got to watch it.
It's a whole new story.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, do you think that the negative feelings and the pain and sorrow that the patients of this hospital had during their time there was somehow embedded into the building?
I believe so. Yeah, and that has happened in on a couple castles in Ireland, where somehow the residual energy from whatever happened, and
Hmm.
that's a lot of negative energy. Let's say you got all those victims of tuberculosis,
Right.
that is imprinted into the walls, especially if you have stone walls that have crystal, because crystal can absorb all that type of energy. And when it releases it, that's when you hear those sounds, the moaning sounds, the screaming, people hacking and coughing. It's all it's stuck in the walls and the crystals and everything. Yeah.
Now, the ghosts that are seen or the apparitions, are they intelligent sightings or are they residual sightings?
Well, with the tuberculosis hospital, I believe that's all residual. As for Adelina Patty,
Hmm.
for her to ask that woman to hold her hairbrush, that would be intelligent because there's interaction there.
Is it common, Paul, that these different types of spirits and hauntings occur in the same place?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Lo- lot of the locations and stuff like that. The spirits usually, especially residual, it's going to stay in that one particular area. Um, Intelligent, the only way it can move from point A to point B is if you take something from that entity.
Mm.
Case example, there was a lady in Tucson, Arizona. She went to an antique shop. She bought a grandfather's clock, brought it home, and all of a sudden her house became haunted. Um, when she returned the grandfather's clock, the haunting stopped. So all that energy was connected to that grandfather's clock. So um, a lot of times, if you take an object from a haunted house, you may have a ghost that will follow you because their energy is imprinted on the object that you took.
So you should be careful when you go to auctions or garage sales or flea markets with what you buy.
Exactly.
Now, how would somebody get rid of a negative entity if they did go to the flea market or the garage sale or the auction and bought something that turned out to be haunted?
You just return that object. So
Hmm.
usually that will solve the problem.
But if the spirit or the negative entity, um, well, let's say they decided, hey, this is a nice looking house compared to where I've been living. I'm just going to call this home. And the person returns whatever the item is. How would that person then, who now has an unwanted visitor or guest in their home, how would they get rid of it?
Now, if it's something demonic, then you would go through the blessing and all that. But if it's just a ghost, they went from point A to point B because of the object that you brought home to your home,
Hmm.
then that object needs to return to wherever it came from. And from the cases that I've been on,
Yes.
people who have taken I even had one case where the person went to Hawaii, brought back some rocks, and all of a sudden they were cursed. They mailed back those rocks, and the curse was gone. So, I mean, they contacted me. I said, okay, did you take any rocks from Hawaii? Yeah. Okay, return the rocks. And they did. And all the curse that happened on their home stopped. They were having financial issues, all kinds of arguing, um, all kinds of crazy things were happening. And as soon as those rocks were returned, everything went back to normal.
Now, isn't it possible, Paul, that while these rocks are in transit, that they could make up their mind that they don't want to go and jump off the rocks somewhere along the line?
No, I never seen that,
No way.
Rob. Yeah, yeah. It seems like when they return the object,
Mm-hmm.
everything goes back to normal.
Gotcha. Gotcha. How many cases would you say you've investigated over the years, Paul?
I would say about almost 3,000.
My goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
And have you ever brought anything home that was negative?
There was a couple times where it seemed like that I brought something home because
Mm-hmm.
there was like some paranormal activity,
Right.
but we're very good at blessing the home and stuff like that. So, um, whatever we may have brought home was gone.
All right, Paul, stand by. You and I have to take our break. And Exonation, this is the Exxon. I'm Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on the Exxon Broadcast Network and on your hometown radio, Classic 1220. Don't forget, I do a show called Your Hometown Radio Show every Saturday and Sunday on Classic 1220. It's got nothing to do with the paranormal. It's all about this region where we live. Here in the region of Niagara, we talk to politicians, we talk to restaurateurs, we talk to entertainers, anybody and everyone within the Niagara region. And of course, we talk to our tourists as well. I'll be back on the other side of this break, so whatever you do, don't go away. And here's some more music for our Disco King.
Be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I've been safe and warm. I like it, I like it. I like the way you run your fingers through my hair. And I like the way you tickle my chin. And I like the way you let me come in when your mama ain't there. I like it, I like it. I like the words you say and all the things you do. And I like the way you straighten my tie. And I like the way you're winking your eye. And I know I like you. You know I like you. Do that again. You're driving me insane. Kiss me once more. That's enough.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. My guest this hour is Paul Dale Roberts, and we're talking about the paranormal, the weird, the strange, and disco dancing. Okay, Paul, you were telling me during the brief break that you'd like to tell us about a call that you recently got.
Yes. I received a call from Marilyn Baxter and Shannon Buckley of Stockton, California. And they requested that HPI would come down to their home and investigate and bless it. And the things that are going on over there is that Marilyn and Shannon both have a house cleaning business. And they said that their van that they use for their business is haunted. And also, too, their house is haunted. And they believe that they picked up a ghost or a demon from a house that they did a cleaning at. A man was shot and killed at this house.
Ooh.
And the things that were happening is now this part really broke my heart, but their dog senses a spirit or a demon, and he was thrown out of a second floor window twice.
Ooh.
The dog was injured both times. And that part right there that really got to me.
Sure.
They may have picked up a ghost or a demon from a house they did a cleaning, and I already said that. And they hear footsteps on the roof. Things get moved around. Chairs get swished around. Door opens and closes by itself. And they wanted an investigation and a cleansing. And so what I did was I actually sent one of our sister groups, Stockton Paranormal, to investigate their home. They did manage to get some EVPs. There was an item that was given to them at the house where the man was shot and killed at that house. I told them to go ahead and return that object. It was some kind of ceramic vase that the owner gave to them. So that could have probably been the problem. I explained to them how to do a Roman Catholic house blessing, and they did. So I checked up with them about a week later, and they said that everything has quiet down. Um, and they believe that the situation has been resolved.
Now, how do you do you taught them how to do a Roman Catholic house clearing or blessing. How do you do that, Paul?
You start from the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
You do a four winds prayer, and you have holy water, and you spread it out four ways, and that covers all the backyard. You ask for God and His angels to protect the family, to protect the house, protect any kind of pets that they may have. And you, like me, I call upon God's angels because they're protectors of humans. So, and this seems to work. Then I go through the whole house with my cross, which is there's holy water on the cross, and I go to each room, do a blessing in there, do a prayer, and then put the sign of the cross over the doorway. And then I go out to the front door. It's like chasing the demon or the ghost out the front door. And I ask them for God's angels to please send them to the light or send them to wherever they came from. Like if it's a demon, wherever you came from, I banish you and I send you out to wherever you came from.
Yeah, are demons more frequent these days than they would have been 10, 15 years ago, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of demonic cases. That's why they call me the demon warrior. But be honest with you, Rob, a lot of the cases, especially if they're demonic, it's more of a mental type thing.
What about Ouija boards? Do they bring in demons? Because if somebody doesn't know what they're dealing with, they could easily open up a doorway to a negative entity, couldn't they?
Yes, over half my cases is because it originated with the Ouija board.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I could never understand the draw or why people would use a Ouija board. And the worst part is that they're considered a game and they're sold in toy stores.
And a lot of times, okay, like I've talked to some of the victims of the Ouija board, and they were bored and they wanted some kind of excitement in their life, so they brought out the Ouija board and to see if anything would happen. So yeah, it's out of boredom, and they, maybe they need to get on their computer and write articles like I do.
It's either that or they should get a subscription to Netflix. No, come on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Netflix or something, or hit the discos.
Oh, hit the disco. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we're going to call you the Disco Ghostbuster.
Oh, there you go.
Children. A lot of children see spirits. A lot of children see angels. Is this because the child hasn't been influenced yet by society and they're open to any interpretation of something that we would call not there?
Well, it seems like from ages 1 to 8
Mm-hmm.
that children have psychic abilities, and usually after age 8 they lose it. But I mean, some people keep it; they keep their psychic abilities. But most of the time, from 1 to 8, they
Mm-hmm.
have psychic abilities. They lose it. They have little psychic antennas. They pick up on things. They have imaginary friends. So that's what I've noticed.
What should parents do if their son or daughter who are younger than 8 years old come to them and start talking about these entities, these ghosts or relatives that have passed away? What should a parent do?
That's a really a tough one, Rob. Um, all you can do is try to be there with them because that's what happened to me when I was living on Ives Street in Fresno, California. I was being attacked by these entities. I was about 6, 7 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the entities actually pushed me into a heater.
Oh my God.
I was screaming and hollering and yelling, and my parents would come in there and try to calm me down. And my mother, I started coughing because this entity did something to me, which was making me cough.
Right.
And she thought she was giving me cough syrup, but in turn, she was giving me poison.
Oh God.
And when she realized what she was doing, she made me throw it up. So it's that's a tough one, Rob. I mean, when a child, encounters this imaginary friend, hopefully it's a good spirit and not a bad one.
By the way, Exonation, if you're hearing growling in the background, it's not the demons inside Paul. It's his little puppy.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and one thing too, if a child from ages 1 to 8
Mm-hmm.
is experiencing something negative from a spirit, the best thing to do is make sure that that child has a full submersion baptism, because that's a basic form of exorcism. And it seems like if they do get the baptism,
Mm-hmm.
the entity will leave them just
Really?
like that.
So it doesn't have to be holy water. Just ordinary lake water, river water. Would a swimming pool work?
Yeah, swimming
Yeah.
pool. But like when I baptize people, people that have attachments,
Mm-hmm.
I do place, let's say, holy water into the swimming pool, holy water into the bathtub, and give them their full submersion baptism. And I say prayers over the water.
How much? Where do you get your holy water from, and how much holy water would you go through in a year?
Um, I would get whole milk cartons full of holy water from the Catholic Church on K Street Mall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, for those who do not know what holy water is, how would you describe it?
The priest just basically blesses it, says a prayer over the water, blesses the water, and there it becomes holy water.
Okay. Very basic, very plain, but very powerful.
Hmm.
How haunted is Sicily?
Sicily is very haunted. I mean, there's a lot of ancient stuff that's going on in Sicily.
Hmm.
Um, I've never been to Sicily, but my ex brother-in-law, Mike McDaniels, who was a maritime archaeologist and a certified scuba diver,
Hmm.
has been there. And his stories, he heard many stories of haunted places over there, like the castle of Kakamo. This castle is located near Palermo, but the castle is haunted by a ghost of Matteo Bonello. And Matteo was a Norman noble who was imprisoned, tortured, and killed there. And visitors have reported Matteo's ghost wandering around. And Matteo's ghost seems like he is in agony. He has no eyes. And during the time he was tortured, the guards actually did cut out his eyes. So that right there, that's horrible. Um, Visitors have heard screaming at times, and it seems like it's coming out from everywhere in the castle. Mike said that he felt sadness. This is my brother in law, my
Right.
ex brother in law. He felt sadness while walking inside the castle. He felt depression, gloom. Mike says the castle is beautiful and has a very dark history. The beauty of the castle is overshadowed by the negative forces within the interior of the castle.
You and I have to take a break. Please stand by. Exo Nation, I'll be back on the other side of this very short break as we wrap up tonight's show here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
I like it. I like it. I like the way you run. Who draws the crowd and plays so loud, baby? It's the guitar man. Who's gonna steal the show? You know, baby, it's the guitar man. He can make you love, he can make you cry. He will bring you down and he'll get you high. Something keeps him going miles and miles a day to find another place to play. Night after night, who treats you right?
Welcome back, everyone. My gosh, this hour's going by so fast. This is our final hour up tonight. And I'd just like to remind everyone that on Saturday, October the 12th, is the 2024 Halifax Paranormal Symposium being held in Halifax at the Halifax Tower Hotel and Conference Center. And if you'd like to get tickets, they're available at ppri.net/tickets. Also, this coming Saturday, September the 7th, Harvest Fest will be taking place in Thorold. There's going to be attractions. There's going to be something for kids, and kids get free balloons and popcorn. Also, there will be organizations like the Greater Niagara Humane Society and the Thorold Fire Department. So everybody has something for someone. And it's from 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock. And for more information, visit www.calendar.thorold.ca. My guest this hour is Paul Dale Roberts, and as always, Paul, I sincerely appreciate you coming on and sharing these exciting investigations and the world of the paranormal as you investigate it. What has been the most scaring investigation that you've ever done?
I think I told that story. It's about the two ladies that invited me to their home, and the one woman, when she was telling me the story, her face actually got distorted and changed to something from a nice looking grandmother
Right.
to something that's demonic.
Ooh.
and I was basically chased out of the house by her goddaughter, had a baseball bat. So yeah, that was like one of the most scariest ones. And they were seeing a demon in the hallway that looked like a black mass. And they were saying that this demon was attacking them. So
Is that one of the investigations that you have done that when you tell people about it, you're going to that you say, you know what, you're not going to believe this, but
yeah, yeah. um, and you were mentioning one of my articles about Schofeld Barracks.
yes, in Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah. My dad, he was in the Korean War. He was a lineman for the U.S. Army Signal Corps, and after he left Korea, they sent him to Hawaii to Schofield Barracks.
Hmm.
And the story goes that a soldier at Equad committed suicide. But the suicide was suspicious because he had 13 stab wounds to the stomach. So how can you stab yourself 13 times? But they wrote it off as a suicide. Um, Even though the circumstances seemed suspicious, it was still ruled as a suicide, which I have no clue why they did that. There was blood splattered everywhere, and to this day, this suicide victim is now a ghost, and he goes around whispering in some of the soldiers' ears, and he whispers, "Go kill yourself," which is pretty horrifying. Um, the cemetery is close by to Schofield Barracks,
Hmm.
and a lot of times the appliances go off and on. Doors will open and close on their own accord. Um, yeah, so there's a lot, in all military bases that I've noticed, and I've been to a lot of military bases. I've been to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I mean, Fort Leonard Wood, yeah, Missouri, Fort Hood, Texas, all these different places, and they're all haunted. And the reason why they're haunted is because a lot of servicemen who were stationed there, some of them committed suicide, some were murdered, some have died in training accidents. So every military installation that I've ever been to, there was always some ghost stories. And some of them have UFO stories. When I was in Fort Knox, Kentucky, that's where they had that Captain Mantrell. He was chasing a UFO over Fort Knox, Kentucky, and his plane crashed. And they thought the UFO shot it down.
So the world is full of unexplained events.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
And
go on.
wherever you have nuclear warheads,
Hmm.
you're going to see UFOs.
Really? That sounds like what was the name of that place? Malmstrom Air Force Base with Captain. Oh gosh, what was his name? Anyway, the story goes that he reported that on a certain day there was a UFO that hovered over a silo array of nuclear missiles in Malmstrom Air Force Base, and that the state, the missiles just went out of order, out of commission.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they were shut down.
Yeah,
Yeah, like over in Montana.
right,
Yeah, the nuclear facility over there, all their nuclear uh, silos,
right.
they all shut down.
Yeah. Do you think that these visitors, for lack of better words, are here to harm us, or are they here to study us? Why do you think they've come to this planet?
Well, I believe that they have a federation, just like something that you watch out of Star Trek.
Hmm.
They probably know about all the different planets that have life in it. They seem like they're here to observe us, to see how we progress and be human. So, and I think they had a lot of dealings with us in ancient times where they manipulated our DNA, and they are pushing us to go from Homo sapien to Homo superior. And when we reach to the point where we're Homo superior, then we could probably join them. And they seem like they manipulate our DNA because of all the abductions of people being taken on their craft. They get these implants. The cows, they're mutilated. There's something definitely going on, and it seems like the aliens have their hands in the cookie jar.
Why do you think they just haven't landed and said, "Hey, gang, we're here, and there's nothing you can do about it"?
Because then it would just mess up everything. They want to see us progress
Mm-hmm.
on our own, and but they behind the scenes they're over there, tinkering with our DNA and everything else. But they want to see how we progress on our own without their interference.
Just like in Star Trek, where they're not allowed to interfere.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If there was to be a nuclear exchange, and I'll just use these two countries as an example, between China and the United States, or North Korea and the United States, do you think at that time the UFOs would intervene?
Rob, because of the way they shut down Montana and
Mhm.
everything else,
Yeah.
and if they have alien bases in our oceans and in secret mountains like Mount Shasta, boy, my dogs are going crazy. Mount Shasta or whatever, I think they will interfere and shut down some of these nuclear missiles and stuff.
Hmm. And my final question for tonight is that we've been talking a lot about Roswell, New Mexico over the last couple of weeks, and I would like to know your opinion of Roswell.
Oh, I definitely believe something happened. The military, they put out that they captured a flying saucer.
Hmm.
I think that was all real. And then some big brass guy came in and says, "Okay, shut it down. Say that it was a weather balloon." I actually believe that a UFO extraterrestrial craft crashed at Roswell, and it looks like two of them crashed in Roswell. So, but yeah, I believe that actually happened.
So, what are you up to next, Paul? Where are you going to do any investigations? Are you writing any more books? Are you doing any more Guinness World Book of Record disco dancing? What's new?
Yeah,
What's next for you?
I'm working on my next book, and I'm always working on a book.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm working on my next book, and it'll be an ebook where people can actually read it for free. It'll be on the Internet Archive. Um, I write articles for Phenomenon magazine out of England, Outer Limits magazine out of England, and hey, you guys, calm down. Okay, and Paranormal Underground magazine. So I stay very
What
busy.
the heck are you doing to those poor dogs, Paul?
They're just playing. They're just getting antsy. They're like looking at me and going, "Okay, are you going to give us a night walk or not?"
Ah, it's that time.
Guys, calm down now.
Well, Paul, I want to thank you so much for joining us. And please keep sending those stories. I love reading them. And we'll have to get you back on because so much is happening in the world today that affect those of us who are interested in the paranormal. And let's see what happens.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Paul, take care of yourself, my friend. It's always great talking to you. And say hello to your doggies for us.
I will, Rob.
Now,
Thank you for having me on. You have a very good night.
you too, my buddy, and get them out before they soil your carpet.
All right, will do.
Good night, Paul.
Good night.
All right, Exo Nation, that's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night as once again we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard, including doggies. This is a dog-friendly show. Who knows? They may be the aliens and they were trying to give us a message, huh? Maybe? Huh? No? Well, until tomorrow night, I'll be back 10 p.m. Eastern till midnight, and you can listen to us around the world on your hometown radio, Classic 1220. But until tomorrow night, always remember, my friends, to keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. I'm Rob McConnell. Good night, everyone.